Hello, and welcome to which I believe the 17th video of this little Coronication or summer vacation, as it is now, because we kind of passed that. Hopefully we passed that. We'll figure that all out in September, and depending on the state you're in, some might go to school, some might. That's just how it is. So, this movie, I have to say it's a little violent, I'll say, at times, so just talk with your parents. Your parents definitely have watched this movie, they know it, so just talk with them, ask them if you could watch it. They'll either give you a yes or a no. If they give you a no, don't fight them on it. It's their word. You gotta listen to them. They know the best for you. If they say yes, however, it's a great movie to watch. Recommend it. Everybody loves it. And I'm pretty sure that your parents would want to watch it with you because it is just that good of a movie. So, let's get moving. So, as I've been saying for the past couple weeks, we have finally made it to Area. But even though we made it to Area, we're just going to scratch the surface of it. We're not diving in too deep. We're just going to scratch the surface of it. We're going to tread the water. We're going to float on it. So I want you to get an understanding of what Area is. Once you understand what Area is, you understand a little bit of it. Once you put your foot into the water, then we'll be able to finally go into the pool. So, Area. I think someone's printing something, so if you hear the little background noise, that's what it is. So, besides that, let's Area. So, as I said, perimeter, it's just the distance around something. However, area is both this distance around and in a shape. What I mean by that is that area is the amount of space covered by a flat shape or surface. So imagine if I drew a line. Remember when we were talking about perimeter, we were talking about straight lines? And then I brought this line forward to the point where there was one line over here. I'm going to use blue, and then another line over here. So then I dragged a new version of this line all the way over here. All this space in between it, that is area. So all that little space is area. So now that is the area of the square. So when I say 2D and 1D, you probably looked at those immediately and you're like, hold up, what? So area is basically measured in the two-dimensional field. There's 1 dimension, 2 dimensions, and 3-dimensional. So when you watch a movie in 3D, you wear those specific glasses so the movie can pop up at you. When you're watching just a regular movie with your family, if you watch Karate Kid, watching a regular movie, a movie that is not 3D, it's basically 2D. So when you go to the movie, you watch a regular movie, it's a 2D movie. 1D is perimeter. You don't need to know the specifics, but that's just the understanding of it. And I I'm basically telling you 2D versus 1D, so you will understand when we talk about the units. So when I say it's measured in square units, same thing as perimeter, centimeters, meters, feet, they're all in there. But for perimeter, if I said the perimeter was 15 centimeters, I write it like this. And I say 15 centimeters. However, it's square units for area. What I mean by that is if it was 15, the area was 15, it would have to be 15 centimeters, but it's square units. So it would have to be 15 centimeters squared. And that is where the 2D comes from. So that's why I'm just saying 2D, 1D, because this is just a little 1. But since it's a 1, we don't have to put it there. That's why we just have, right, centimeters, whatever. But if it's a 2, 3, whatever, you'd have to write feet with the 2 on top for 2-dimensional. And the 2, you say 2 squared. Now, when I say 3D, that's volume. You guys don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about cubed or 3 or 3D and volume. Do not worry about that. That is way above your pay grade, I'll say. A little joke. But don't worry about that, please. Just worry about square. So if I report the area to you as 20 and the unit is inches, we'll write 20 inches squared. So remember when we were talking about perimeter and units, that is just how you write the units for area. So let's get to it. Let's count some area. So first things first, as I said in perimeter, the same thing is going to happen with area. You're always going to have a scale right here. And as you can see, 1 whole square block equals 1 inch cube. So how you the way we're calculating area is we're just going to count the squares. It's that simple. We just count the squares and we get our answer. So I look at the scale. 1 square is 1 inch squared. Now I know my unit is inches squared. But technically the unit is inch, but we write the 2 on top because we're talking about 2-dimension. So let's count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So since each square counts as 1 unit, that's okay. So each square is 1. So that means we should be counting by ones. We are skip counting from 0, starting at 0, by 1. If the scale was 2 inches, we would have to be skip counting by 2. But if you have not seen my skip counting videos, go look at that because you need to know that concept in order for this. So we skip counted by 1. We counted up to 15. We said the unit was inches squared. Bada bing, bada boom. That is the area. It is that simple, guys. Now, I want you to try this one. We're going to do this one together. Scale, 1 inch. It's the same exact scale. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 and that's it. 25. Booyah, let's move on. Hold up. Exactly. 25 what? 25 bicycles, 25 computers, 25 cans? What are we talking about? We always have to write our units. So I want you to try these on your own. And if I had the square, I just want to add a little side note. If I had the square, it looked like that. I counted like this, and then I moved on to the next row. You guys can just count like this. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just all that matters is that you count the total number of squares. You can mark little X's in the square boxes, however you want. So I'm going to give you a little tip on these two. Look at the scale. It's all the same. You always must look at the scale. And I threw this one at you because it's a little tricky. So pause the video. I'm going to pause myself for 5 seconds, take a sip of water, and we'll continue. Okay. So let's start with the less complicated one. So we'll number this 1 and we'll number that 2. So we're going to start with number 1. So let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 inches squared is your answer. We were counting by ones because it was 1. Now let's go to this one. This one, it's the same concept, guys. The same exact concept. Just count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 inches squared. It's that simple. No matter what little shape I draw, doesn't matter. Just count the squares. If I draw, I'll make it very neat. If I draw like a little shape like that, and it had the grid in it, whatever, just count the squares. That's it. It's that simple. Now I'm going to throw one more at you till we conclude our lesson. So, what do you first notice about this one? Exactly. Something is different. Now try this on your own. But I'm giving you a little hint. There's a 4 there, not a 1. So instead of skip counting by ones or counting by ones, we have to count by 4s. Exactly. So try that. I'm going to pause myself, take another sip of my water, and we'll continue. And if you're having trouble, please, I advise you to pause this, because I don't want to tell you the answer while you're still trying to figure it out. Okay, let's get to it. First thing I notice is the scale. I always look at the scale. Scale, 4 feet squared. First thing I take away from it, feet squared. That is my unit. That is whatever number I get, 15, 20, 25, I don't care. I'm just writing feet squared after it. Doesn't matter, because whatever answer I get, I'm going to write feet squared after it. So that's, I know, is my unit. So whatever answer I get, that follows that answer. Like the 20, like this, 20 feet squared. For the 20, the feet squared followed the 20. Makes sense. Okay, now I see the 4s. It's not a 1, sadly. 1s are very easy, but it's a 4. So instead of counting by 1, we have to count by 4s. So let's go. 4, 8, 12. And I'm just going to pause. You'll get better counting by 4s. If you want, you can go like this. 4 plus 4, we did 3 already. Plus 4. Plus 4, and you could just go on and on and on until you get your answer, and you just add them all up. Or over time, you'll get better at counting by 4s. So you get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48 feet squared is our area. Just want to repeat myself again. Counted by 4s, I went from 4 to 12 because every square counted as 4. So I always added 4 when I moved to a next square. Hence this little thing down there. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this little video here. Stay safe, stay cool, stay learning. Bye-bye.